Ladies and gents, welcome to UX, and this is You're More Stressed Than Ever by Channel Kurzgesagt in a nutshell. Yeah, it's a new Kurzgesagt video and it's about psychology of every day. This is a trend that everybody notices, even if you're not up to date about everything. You hear in the news, you hear everywhere like how stress is going up. People are getting more and more depressed. Obviously, lifestyle. I mean, there are decent amount of people who are blaming chemicals for it, which must there must be something there, but I guess scientifically we don't know much about that yet. Maybe 20 years from now. Usually any kind of data takes a long time to collect. Newer things that has been introduced to us, we don't know how much that affects us. And even the older things, people are not looking for problems, but now they are. So who knows, the things that we use every day, we might not be like, oh, how is this going to affect me? Might be affecting us, right? People are using sanitizers a lot nowadays, which has problems, might fuck up your system a lot. This is a real thing. Yeah, I don't know, man. So stress is like one of those things. Mostly, like it comes from your how you live, social media, right? Your job, the way your job is. Yeah, life is very different. Even though we're living in a time which is just better than anything before, it's just better times in every single way. From world being safe, crimes going down, things that are available to you. I know it feels like things are getting costly, and kind of they are, but because there are more things out there. So overall, it's costly. Like smartphones wasn't a thing before 15 years ago, right? Many things they use today wasn't really a thing then. So things are just getting better and better. Technology is rising, and with that, obviously, expense is rising. So things are expensive, but we are living in just better times, and yet stress is higher, right? Anyone, doesn't matter who it is, probably gonna experience this. That why is my mood off today? Like you might not even be able to put your finger on it. Like why am I depressed? I don't know, shit like that. So it's gonna be interesting. Let's always fun.
Stress is an ancient superpower that's slowly killing you. It evolved as one of the most powerful tools for survival, but has turned into a double-edged sword in the modern world. It grants your wish to rise to a gnarly challenge or to work harder, but claims a chunk of your life force in return. Unless you learn how to use it right. What is stress? Why is it harmful? And what can you do to escape its consequences? All living things strive for homeostasis, a state where their body is in balance. To maintain this balance, they make adjustments like moving into the sunlight or eating nutrients. But the world is a cruel place with death lurking behind every corner, and organisms need a way to react to extreme situations. This is how stress evolved, as a physical response to a stressor, which is anything challenging or dangerous. Stress is a very fast, drastic change of the state of the body that prioritizes survival. An emergency program that lets the organism push way out of its comfort zone to survive. To understand how stress works in humans, let's visit a scene 50,000 years ago. The superpower awakens. A group of early Homo sapiens.
Yeah, in today's world, I don't know if you must have noticed this. You're amped up, you're feeling great, you're feeling great about the day, you're feeling great about things that you're gonna do, games you're gonna play, the job you're gonna do, like spend time with your family or whatever. Like there's a specific thing, go for a vacation or whatever. And in that same day, probably very late or close to when you're about to sleep or something, sometimes shit just suddenly hits you, right? Like things might feel trivial. Like what is the point of anything? What about your life? And all these thoughts suddenly surges in. This is stress and response of stress, but it's kind of like amplified. So all anxiety rises with it, right? Everything feels trivial. You try to find a sense of things like what is meaning of my life? What did I do in life and shit like that? Because that is what your system is telling you. Like focus on what's important, not small shit, right? Now's the time to focus on things. So it's just like a feeding mechanism that just increases stress. You get depressed, stress get increased. This is why a lot of stress-related disease rises up, because if it feeds on it, like eventually it becomes a pattern and it's part of your life now. You have that disease. There's a reason why a lot of mental diseases doesn't have a cure, but because it's like weird pattern that is part of you now. Your brain is like weird in a way, like Once you know something, you can't forget type of way. This is why, like, like if you suddenly see a pattern, not suddenly, if you feel a pattern, right, that pattern's gonna stay with you. You're gonna remember that pattern, and you're gonna repeat that, right? Some form of OCD here and there, like you're doing things that you didn't used to. Because of COVID, a lot of people now always see jumps, right? Like I remember like not cleaning things, but nowadays I clean everything. I sanitize everything. Wait a minute, why am I like this? Because you can't unsee that now. COVID made you see that. So our brain is like very pattern wise.
Are huddled around a fire when suddenly a desperate and starving saber-toothed tiger attacks their camp. Their leader, the bear smasher, jumps up as time slows down. His brain classifies the tiger as a critical stressor and unleashes the stress response.
All of that. I thought adrenaline speeds up time, not slows down. I remember like there was a documentary years ago, which is like, well, slowing down time is a myth. If anything, it's opposite. Is that not true? It's time to, like, it feels slower to you? Because it always felt weird to me. There is no time slowing, but since you're so focused, it feels slow to you. So when you like you think about like what happened, you see that as a memory, like, yeah, time slowed down. But obviously it doesn't slow down, but it feels slowed down because you're so focused in every single second. To me, it felt like slowing down time is a real thing. Like it must do that because you remember it that way, not speed up time. But I guess in the moment, like you're so engaged, you're not thinking, you're not at rest, everything feels faster. So when shit is happening, it's faster. But when you think about it back there, it feels slower.
Adrenal glands pump out adrenaline that rushes through Er's body, activating fight or flight mode. His heart starts beating faster and his lungs accelerate, providing an emergency supply of nutrients and oxygen to all critical systems. Adrenaline dictates that his muscles have energy priority over his other organs and activates them for rapid action. Their strength and speed are ramped up. Pain and fatigue signals are muted while his senses become super sharp and lock in on the threat. Perceives every detail with maximum clarity and realizes the tiger is getting ready to pounce. There's only a split second to react. Adrenaline forces to make a quick, impulsive decision. Without thinking about it, he chooses to fight and attacks with full force. But the battle is long and arduous. The animal is desperate and will not back down. Our humans risk exhaustion. A new hormone joins the battle, cortisol.
Yeah.
Cortisol is the slower, more strategic hormone that manages a longer stress response. It orders a total shift of all body systems, ramping up the fuel supply while suppressing all non-essential functions like resting, disease defense, or digestion. Or's body isn't his own anymore, it belongs to stress. Finally, Or the bear smasher.
Yeah, cortisol is the biggest issue today. Okay, example, you must have gone through a period of time, whether for exams or whatever. You do unhealthy things like don't sleep as much, don't eat as much, and stress over something. Over time, that stress becomes like not as a problematic as it was at the start. It just becomes a thing you do. You feel all right with it, like, yeah, this is my life, I'm doing this, and you have this motivation thing. Like in the end of this, there's a light behind the light at the end of the tunnel because I'm going to achieve something. That few days go by and you just feel shitty. Doesn't matter what. Even if you try to enjoy something the way you used to, you can't right now. Cortisol is insanely high in you. This is why. And a lot of people's life is such a way that their cortisol is always higher because they're always grinding at that stage. And at that point, joy just goes away. If there's a food you probably enjoyed, you can't do that. Even if you like in a vacation watching a sunset and eating food. And if anything, like you might try to rush back to work even at your vacation because like your mind is kind of trying to focus on that now. Because cortisol is high and stress is also telling you focus on the important. And people don't break out of this cycle. This is why a lot of companies nowadays, not because companies are good, because they were forced, I guess, by government or something, basically forces you to go to vacations, right? I mean, there are countries who does that. I don't know if every country does that, but they literally forces you. No, man, you have to take a rest, like it's mandatory for shit like this.
Deals the killing blow. The tribe gathers in celebration. Their bodies shut down fight or flight and activate rest and digest. Wounds begin to hurt and muscles cry in exhaustion. It's time to recover and heal. bond, and tell stories about how they killed the angry tiger god. Some fall asleep, others eat to replenish. The tribe relaxes and homeostasis is being restored. These people are your ancestors. When did this amazing superpower turn into a curse? The deadly email. Our world has changed so quickly and profoundly that our biology couldn't keep up. Stress is still the same it was.
Yeah, it became your enemy when threat was not much of a threat anymore because of, like modern world. Modernity changed everything. You don't have to worry about predators now, at least in that scale. Even at the basic thing, you're police now, so you don't have to worry about that. That system still lurking there, basically stressing you out. If you were under attack, yeah, that system is great, but it's great because you're under attack. So it's like, yeah, this is like saying like, like pinching myself feels good because I'm hurting somewhere else. That's not really good, is it? Like you're just like, yeah, you're in the bottom of the hole. You're slightly higher. You're still not at the ground level, let alone up there. So yeah, this was super power for survival. It wasn't good, right? Nowadays you don't need it as much, and it's still lurking around. So yeah, you're stressed.
50,000 years ago. Sense a stressor, react immediately and with full force, prioritize present moment survival, make sacrifices if necessary. That works well when you have to jump out of the way of a car, but most stressors we encounter nowadays are abstract, acute, and more numerous. Often intangible, persist for much longer, and usually don't even require physical action. The tigers of the past are now angry emails, deadlines, online dating, rush hour traffic, or doom scrolling the news and social media. But our brains are built to take fear very seriously, so if you experience even a short burst of anxiety over an email or because you scrolled through Twitter, the helping hand of stress springs to action. You can have dozens of these micro-stressors per day, constantly activating your stress response even if you barely notice anymore. While these micro-threats stack up, we also have to deal with bigger stressors like unpaid overtime, angry clients, rising rents, inflation and healthcare, or tariffs and chaos making our future more uncertain. But the boost we get from stress can also be extremely helpful if you have to study for an exam, run a marathon, or complete a big project. It's a proper superpower and can feel exhilarating, even addictive. So many of us end up abusing it. Especially if you work in a competitive field, you may keep pushing and challenging yourselves and others, relying on stress to get your best performance possible. The problem is that stress was only ever intended to be used in short spurts and critical situations. If it's activated over days, weeks, and months with no release, it becomes chronic stress, one of the deadliest conditions for humans.
Yeah, so cortisol obviously. Okay, look, man. Here's the point. Yeah, this mechanism was intended for survival. That's it. In today's world, it is triggered because you also feel it's for your survival. Why? Because most countries, most like American places, don't have safety nets. Europe it does. A lot of European countries does, right? Denmark and all that. You need to like see how chronically stressed they are. Probably not much. Like happiness index, they're probably at the top of it. USA, like even to the richest country in the world and other Western country and others as well, obviously, but we're talking about rich one here because yeah, even the rich one, you don't have a safety net, right? People don't call 911 because they're afraid of the bill. They are happy to be hurting rather than calling 911. That's how fucked up it is. So it is for survival. The angry male is a lion, is a tiger. Why? That angry male is gonna fire you. And after that, you won't be able to feed your family. Nobody's going to give a shit. There is nothing that is their safety program. You can't even pay medical bill because even something like medicine, education isn't free or something like it is in like a lot of European countries. You don't have a safety net. So it is for your survival. This is why this is high. You just substituted a tiger with this shit. But in the end, it's all about survival. People can figure out safety net, like, okay, basic healthcare, like, we are human. How can we say we went to the moon and going to the Mars and we have these smartphones and all this technology when we can't even provide basic necessities to people that live in our society? We can't pick and choose, right? One guy is like, okay, he's not productive to society. Why do I care about that? That guy is a stress on my system. Yeah, but that guy might turn out to be a genius. Now you basically latch onto the guy. Save us, guy. You never know, right? This is why you need to treat everyone in your society like, the human, because they are. So if you don't have a safety net, right? Yeah, this shit's gonna just amplify, right? This is where the cyberpunk universe comes from, like corporate stress, corporate, like fucked upness without, like over capitalism without the safety net. That's what that is.
How chronic stress destroys you. The price of chronic stress is the slow destruction of every part of your body and brain. As the stress cascade is activated over and over, adrenaline and cortisol keep flooding your body. Your fight or flight systems are overactivated while your rest and digest functions are constantly suppressed. Your muscles tense up for a fight that never comes. Instead, your back, shoulders and neck scream under the tension and you get pounding headaches. Your digestive tract cramps and suffers, either holding things in too long or rushing things out. Your fat metabolism is disrupted and starts slowing down fat breakdown, while increasing fat buildup in your belly area. Your cells become less responsive to insulin, increasing your risk of metabolic diseases. Your heart keeps pounding, eager to supply your body with fuel, but your blood vessels aren't built for this constant overactivation and get destroyed in the process, massively increasing your risk of a heart attack or stroke. Your immune system...
Yeah, like this is where like exercise comes from. If you're doing weightlifting and shit, like you can circumvent this. Your heart is made to function at full capacity. But yeah, when you like go over it, like if your heart rate is always at the resting over 100 and you don't have that great of a like physical health, probably blood pressure rises with it. Yeah, this is never good. You'll be surprised how many people are like 110, 120 resting heart rate, which is like, are you fucking kidding me? Mine is under 60 because I've been working out for over 10 years. Every time I measure, it's like 59, 57 and like, oh, all right, damn. And my blood pressure is always like 120, 80 around with 1 or 2 up and down, right? So, like people is like 160 by 110. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? This close to dying, right? 180 by 120. That's probably, you probably need to run to hospital level shit. So way too many people are like at this level.
System gets weaker and stronger at the same time in a way that causes maximum damage to you. The parts that protect you from disease are suppressed because who cares about a cold if you have to fight a tiger? This increases your risk of infections, cancer and autoimmune diseases. Meanwhile, cells that cause inflammation for wound healing are massively boosted, inflaming your tissue all over. Your brain gets rewired to serve stress. Perceiving an ongoing critical emergency, it slows down calm reflection and thinking, instead favoring quick and rapid reactions. You literally get worse at thinking clearly and lose wisdom points. You're much more likely to make bad, impulsive decisions like breaking up, eating junk food, or using drugs. You become worse at solving your problems while creating new ones. Under chronic stress, you're simply a worse version of yourself. If this persists, your memory and cognitive abilities get worse as you slide into anxiety and depression. So your chances of getting out of a stressful situation in the modern world worsen the longer your chronic...
This is also break marriages, probably, right? Mark, you're always working, you're not home, you're not playing with your kids. I'm going to my home, right? I'm leaving you. Yeah, Mark is probably like victim of ancestral shit that Mark is carrying. And Mark doesn't even realize that. Mark is amped up and like, yeah, let's do this, and just like keep stressing out about work. And most of the time, he doesn't even have a say in it because that's what work's demand, apparently. Yeah, that's how fucked up things have gotten. And yeah, Mark is like scratching Mark's head and thinking, why did my marriage fail? Yeah, it probably wasn't your fault. Probably just fault of your environment. I don't know.
Chronically stressed, a hellish, vicious circle. If you can't escape it, odds are that you may die earlier and suffer greatly along the way. How to use stress as intended. Stress can be your friend. In measured doses, acute stress enables you to conquer mountains and push beyond your comfort zone, helps you to improve your skills and grow as a person. And it can make it feel amazing to perform at your very best.
Yeah, I never understood this shit. It makes you happy, great, but like... We have helicopters now and shit. Like while climbing a mountain, all right, you work out because physically it gets you better. Otherwise, why lift weight? But it gets you better, so that makes sense. Why climb mountain? It's a thing that makes you happy, like how video game does it. Like great, there's no functionality behind it. Like people always use that as an example. Like I don't understand that. I don't care about that. Oh look, I climbed the mountain. The other thousands of people already climbed. I'm part of thousands now instead of billions. I don't give a fuck, right? I'll just take a helicopter at top.
But to get the good without the bad, it's critical that you properly wind down your fight or flight response and relax. Listen to your body. If you feel stressed, you are stressed, full stop. There's no universal threshold you have to reach before you're allowed to do something about it. Next, ask yourself, is your stress response productive in your situation, and is there an end in sight? If
You're not understanding, Kurzgesagt, which is a weird statement. You probably do. You're too many people there researching this. But the point is, when you're stressed like that and your cortisol is high, you're only focusing on essentials. Your part of your brain think like, is this productive? Is not there. You might need somebody else to pull you out, or like have a system where if you feel like stressed, like I don't know, sit down, calm down, have some kind of meditation going, have like regardless of whatever reasoning is, forget that reason and just calm down and keep everything at baseline, heartbeat and everything, calm down, and then think about something tangible in your life that makes you happy, and then think, was that necessary? Then you'll probably be able to think like, why was I stressed out, and like go from there. If you're already stressed out and cortisol is high, you won't be able to think this productively, right? Your brain is only what is important. Like, yeah, my life is important. Like, if I don't do this, everything's gonna be fucked up. We're not gonna survive. You're not thinking like, what is this for? Like, is this really important? Like, you're not gonna think all this shit.
Studying for exams or moving house, stress is a superpower, helping you unlock your full potential. But your health needs breaks from fight or flight mode, be it meeting friends, working out, or going for a walk in nature. Relaxation is not being lazy. This is serious self-care.
Yeah.
If you relax actively and regularly, you'll keep stress from claiming a price on your body and mind and still be able to use its power. If you can't do this,
stress can literally kill you in many ways. It has a physiological effect, like how the video says, like how like fat accumulates in you and doesn't like function the way it's supposed to. You literally get fatter in a way, right? Every part of your body, like this very physiological thing that kills you over time. You might not live long enough if you're always stressed. So yeah, brain is an essential part of your system physiologically, not just mentally, which is obviously the case. So yeah, you need to like recharge, you need to calm down, you need a rest, you need a vacation. How in the end you need a video game that, like, I'm not talking about Call of Duty where you curse at other people and just like always amped up. That is still stress. I don't know, play something like Elder Scrolls or something, go for fishing in a video game if you don't want to go in real life, shit like that.
At the moment, plan active relaxation time as soon as you can, without this stressing you out. Okay, but what if you suffer from constant unhelpful stress? You can't control your body's stress response, but you can influence it. As annoying as this is, mindfulness, like meditation or yoga, is scientifically proven to take the edge off stressful situations and to tell your brain that this email is not a deadly tiger. But the single most effective way to remove stress from your life is to remove the stressor itself. Become your own personal assistant and assess where tiny bursts of stress are coming from during your day. Do you feel stressed when you doom scroll? Social media doesn't show us what we want, but what makes us engage. And negative emotions make us engage the most. So simply getting rid of the apps or unfollowing stressful people can actually remove a lot of stress from your life. Especially with the really big problems, removing the stressor is extremely effective. If you live in a...
Yeah, I don't understand social media shit, man. I have Instagram, but like, okay, I post sometimes and that's it. Sometimes, like, I have comments, I don't really like, what the fuck, it's been a while and didn't read the comment. I don't scroll and doom scroll, whatever the fuck that is. Like, TikTok is banned where I am, so that's not the case. YouTube Shorts is a thing, but I don't, like, why, what? If I want to watch something, I'll watch something. Otherwise, I don't want to watch something. I have my job, I have my life, right? Like, I sometimes play games. In that way, I'm like very stable. So I'm glad about that. I never got that bug of social media where I just need to be on phone. I'm never that.
Dangerous neighborhood, move. If you're bullied at school, see if you can change your environment. While this is drastic advice and may not be easy, it will have the biggest impact on your chronic stress levels. So think about what you can change in the midterm. Of course, there are situations where you can't just eliminate the stressor or meditate the chronic stress away. If your brain is stuck in stress mode for too long, it will get worse and worse at solving problems. You may not be able to think clearly to get out of your situation. In these cases, the most powerful move is to ask for help.
Medical.
Open up to friends or family, or get professional help. An extra pair of hands can make a huge difference. In the end, life will throw stressors your way. This is unavoidable, and that's okay. Stress is your superpower. Use it, but never forget to get to the other side of it. If you want to use your stress
Yeah, but go to original video page link and from there support this channel. Like everything in life, everything has a pros and cons. If there is a plus to something, there's gonna be real minus to it. I'm a very big car guy, and like I know mechanically very well of like every system, the way they're made, why some cars are the way they are, right? Suspension setups and shit like that, like independent systems, double wishbones, multi-links, right? Like torsion beams, the most basic ones you can think of, leaf springs. I have multiple cars. I did went to like for 300-400 kilometers, something like that, on a journey, right? On my off-road car, which has like multi-link in front, multi-link back, ladder frame, chassis, shit like that, right? And I started to realize like pros and cons. That car is awesome. Like hit potholes or bumps, ride really rough. Nothing will happen to that car. You'll just sit there. You can't do that shit with any basic cruisers, right? Your car will take damage. But that car cannot go over like 60-70 miles per hour without getting unstable. Not unstable, but you get the point. Unless road is completely smooth, like you won't feel confident. And I started to figure that shit out, like what is the best? Apparently there is no best. If you want a highway cruiser, you need that spec. You need something that's rugged, off-roady, and like things that can tackle. That's different, which will have opposite effect. In life, this is your stress is your superpower, but at the same time, it also makes you feel shitty. But you need to survive, so it's your superpower. You need to achieve something, for that is your superpower. You want to feel good, you want to be happy, maybe not. So you need to know when to use what. Just like the cars, you need to know if you're going to go off-road or on a highway. What are you doing? Are you on a vacation with your family? The stress shouldn't be there. Don't think about it. Don't focus on it. Are you trying to achieve something is important? Yeah, let the stress be there. You feel shitty, but that's life. I've known this for a long time. I've functioned like that, and I'm semi-successful, right? Look at this channel that I'm on right now, right? I've had a total of millions of views by now, like multi-million. I don't know if there was statistics or something. Yeah, my channel is not even that successful, but I shouldn't have any success in the first place. I'm not a native English speaker, right? I'm not that great socially either, but somehow I have a channel, somehow 16,000 subscriber, and sometimes people watch my videos. Okay, I can communicate like this. This video has gone on for 30 minutes. This original video is only 10 minutes. I can talk. This in itself is an achievement for me, right? So, like I can apply things in a certain way. I'm not a social media guy, and yet I have a YouTube channel, right? So you need to know when to do what and try to focus on that and not stress over things. The biggest issue I've realized in the past, which I don't know if you have or not, that trying to think about if you should stress on something or not itself becomes a stress. Overthinking is an issue. You just need to feel something and back off. That's good enough. Or perfection is also a problem. So like you need to figure shit out and you kind of feel it, and that's enough. You can make adjustments on the go, but don't stress over it. You're not going to get any shit done. Think like that. All right, well, I guess I'll see you next time.